How's it going, everybody? The Strive here, and today I got an exciting topic for you all. Before we start, just letting you guys know I appreciate all your support. It means the world to me, and also if you happen to be new to the channel, welcome to the Strive. I do all my videos barely scripted and such, so if you're looking for a guy who just blabbers on, I'm him. I enjoy speaking my opinion on the sports world, so I do everything I can not to be filtered, just because it's more fun that way. But with all that said, I hope you all enjoy the video. Let's go ahead and get right into the topic. Today, we're talking about Kyrie Irving is back in the NBA. How exciting to see him back. I didn't know, to be honest with you, I didn't know if he was going to come back at all this season. I know some people were speculating whether or not he was going to be back or not. And, knowing the rules, the main reason why Kyrie Irving wasn't able to come back was because of his vaccination status. And the main reason why he couldn't come back for that is because New York has a vaccine mandate. So the only way for Kyrie Irving to play is if he was able to play away games, and that's only if the Nets allowed him to play away games. And in the beginning, they didn't allow him to, but at this point, the Nets keep losing players to injuries or the virus, and at this point, the Nets are taking Kyrie Irving back at this point because they just keep losing people to injuries and the virus, and they just can't keep up at this point. And they're also starting to lose games more. There was a time period where they were going a winning streak, but they've been starting to lose games. They lost the first seed in the conference to the Bulls, and now they're back like one or two games around there behind the Bulls for the first seed. So they felt like best interest of the team winning wise, they needed Kyrie Irving back. Even if it was just for away games, they still need him on those games because, when you get into playoffs, you have a 7-game series, and depending on how many home and away games depends on that, and it's better to have Kyrie Irving than not have him, and I'm pretty sure that's what they took into measure. And Kyrie Irving honestly had a pretty decent game. Honestly, he was pretty much a factor in the game against the Indiana Pacers when he just came back. He scored like 22 points. He shot 9 from 17 from the field, so over 50%. Now he did only shoot he didn't get any 3-pointers in. He went 0 for 2, but he did have 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers, and had all that in 32 minutes of play. Now, I know before the game, a lot of people were speculating whether they were going to play him less than 30 minutes or play him more than 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. People were speculating, how many minutes were they going to play him? Were they going to maybe play him a little bit lower just to get him back in the field of the game, which I kind of understand. You don't want to push somebody back into the game. You kind of want them to get a little bit more into it, not really rush them back too much, because usually when it comes to like an NBA game or just any sports in general, you don't want to rush back that person. You want to sometimes play them on a little bit of limited minutes and then get them back into the flow, just because a lot of times if someone gets injured, usually that's what you do just to get them back in it so they don't re-injure themselves, because their body has to get back to the speed of the play. They have to get used to playing at that speed again. So, and if you're already going to the extreme right off the bat, you could seriously injure your body. It's not even just like that in sports. It's even like if you go to the gym and you're working out, they always tell you gotta work up to it. You can't just start bench pressing over 200 pounds. You gotta start lower and build yourself up to that point, because you could actually seriously injure yourself. But going about that, Kyrie Irving, like I said before, he was a pretty serious factor going towards the game. Now, the Nets were losing pretty much most of the time during this game. The Pacers were kind of starting to pull away around the third quarter. But the Nets, once it got to the fourth, they started pulling away even more. It got to the point where Kyrie Irving started making some shots. KD was KD. KD put up like 39, and that man has been going off the whole season. And the Nets team just started playing well, because I was watching the game for a while, and I was like, man, this sucks. Like, you bring back Kyrie Irving, to help you win these away games, and the Pacers, they're not even that good. Like, they're trying to rebuild, they're trying to get rid of some players, and it's kind of weird. And it's like they still have James Harden too, and I know James Harden hasn't been like as good as he has been in previous seasons, but it's just kind of weird. But enough said, the Nets at the end did pull it off. They did start scoring, start getting more people involved. They did their thing. So no hate there. I just want to build off of the fact that what can we see from the Nets team? They're not going to have Kyrie Irving for any home games. So pretty much what it seems like is, at this point, KD's going to have to really push during these home games, and KD's going to have to do everything he can to make sure that they win these home games, because they're not going to have Kyrie. And then KD could probably coast a little bit more. I know he didn't really coast last game. He scored 39 points, and I think he played 40 minutes. But if I was KD personally in the away games, I would try to coast a little bit more, just because you have Kyrie and James Harden. So I'm kind of surprised he didn't really coast last game, but it makes sense why he wasn't able to again, because like Kyrie, you should probably have Kyrie coast just a little bit at the beginning and then get him back into the field of game again, so he doesn't injure himself or anything like that. So I think that's what we're going to be seeing. Nothing too major. I would like to see Kyrie Irving get back to the level he's going to play at, which I knew he wasn't going to score like 30 or 40, this game, which if he would have, that would have been crazy. But I knew he was probably going to coast just a little bit. I knew he was maybe going to play about 30 minutes at possible, which he played 32. And just get him back into the game, get him a nice feel. But honestly, if I was the Nets, I think the plan is, at this point, you need to get KD. You need to get him coasting a little bit more on those away games. KD, I feel like, he's getting older, and the fact that he's playing as many minutes as he is, and, the things he has to do to make sure the Nets have to win these games, the season is ridiculous. That man I feel like that dude has been putting up 40 every game, and they're barely winning and scratching, which is, at least they're winning. It's just sad to see. And, I'm just kind of worried about KD in that way, because, KD, he tore his Achilles, and I'm worried that amount of pressure, the amount of minutes he keeps playing over and over again. And I just, even though he came back and he looks great. He looks like he hasn't lost a step. He still looks like the same KD as before. But the issue whenever you get like a torn ACL or an Achilles tear or just anything that's serious, usually the main issue with that is two. One, the players, they either don't come back the same, or they are injury riddled for the rest of their career. And KD's looks the same. It looks like nothing has changed, but I'm just worried that if he keeps playing this much and everything, I'm really worried that he's going to start getting the wear and tear. Maybe not now, but maybe in the future. And I just hope Kyrie can come in and help him coast a little bit more. And I know a lot of people maybe haven't been talking about that, and I might be overreacting when it comes to that scenario, but I think it's something that should be talked about, and I think it was maybe one of the discussions that a lot of people haven't thought about, and why one of the main reasons they brought Kyrie back is not only the Nets are losing, KD KD's playing way too much than he should be. You know, you still have to get to the playoffs, and you still got to get to the championship. And after that, you know, you still got more games to play, you know, after the regular season. So that might have been the discussion. I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe it's a cool thing to think about. I don't know. But it was cool to see him back. So it was very exciting. And from here on in, I think Kyrie's just going to get better every game at this point. Would not be surprised to see him back at his level by at least next month, by February. I think by February, especially March, he'll be back to his normal self. So nothing really too extreme. Still looks like Kyrie. I know he was practicing while he was in gyms and stuff while he was gone from NBA basketball. So I'm glad he was staying in shape, staying ready. That's awesome to see. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you guys have any opinions of your own on this situation, for Kyrie being back or anything else, go ahead, drop a comment below. I'd really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And I will see you all later. Peace.